All right, well, actually, I'm going to get the very latest information on the hurricane loaded up. So right now, let's talk about first the storms that are in the area. In case you're just joining us, top of the broadcast, we showed severe thunderstorm warning for areas on the eastern shore. Right now, sky view, actually, I should have swung that around, but see the light show, a lot of lightning out there. We talked about it earlier. We'll do it again here in just a second. It mentioned isolated, maybe scattered storms for the late evening and overnight. They're definitely scattered, so a little bit more than we had expected, but still definitely heavy downpours that we had also talked about. Here is that area moving up onto the eastern shore. Still a really strong storm. Tremendous amount of lightning, but we do not get warnings. I've only ever seen it once in 30-some years of doing TV. I've only seen one warning for lightning. It has to be large hail or winds over 60 miles per hour, and we do not have that, even though it was 1440 or 1442, I believe, something in the 1440s earlier. Now we're at 1421, so it's holding pretty much status quo. While this area out here on the western side of the viewing area, only, but still a decent amount, 195 strikes. So we have some of these pockets, some small areas of hail, but no longer large enough hail or quite strong enough winds to need a severe thunderstorm warning. So we still want you to take cover up there, be careful, but that is just at this point, a really strong storm. And then down here across the south side, just east of Wakefield and portions of Sussex County over into Isle of Wight, a tremendous amount of lightning there. And this is all relatively new, just popping up very small areas with some heavy downpours, including right over downtown Suffolk right now. Areas around Dill Road over toward Kilby Avenue, right up toward the main interchange there. We're talking about a lot of heavy rain. So tonight, 79 by morning. Winds, right now it is 79. We're going to be down into the mid-70s by morning. Northerly winds, though, some of that is the outflow, but we also have a front very close to us. I mentioned it earlier, in case you missed it the last couple of days. 97 was the high at Norfolk. They finally have admitted, we've been telling them for a year, you can see compared to everybody else, they're finally admitting that number is too high. So they're using a co-op site from near there. So when they sent the official word out today, they said, you're right, 93 is the official high. So don't believe that number, 93, the official high today. Meanwhile, the rest of the overnight, anything that's out there gradually dying off. And then tomorrow, we're going to look at temperatures that are down a little bit, but more of these isolated to maybe even scattered storms. I'm thinking I'm going to have to up the number. In fact, I already have. From what did I go, 25, I want to say, percent earlier. I'm upping it to 40% isolated to scattered showers and storms instead of isolated. And then pretty much the same story over the weekend. 87, 88. Rain chances gradually go down as we get into the weekend. And Monday looking hot, but 15% chance of rain.